So it is now late November. Came up to do some skiing, and I got a little bit of work to do up here, and it is cold. Just got done having a cold front come in.
Got me a camper this time.
So I ended up picking this up for $200, and I towed it from where I got the loader up there when I was driving through.
Set up all good in here, yeah. Heck of a lot better than that darn tent, I'll tell you that much. And I got this thing at a steal of a price too. And man, is it warm too.
I ended up parking the loader over at my neighbor's piece next door and everything, just not knowing when I was going to be back up, if I was even going to be able to make it back in November or whatever. And I didn't want to leave it over there on my side because there was, there's just nothing up there. It's just so that way my friend can keep an eye on it a little bit better here. No one was going to mess with it. This is the beginning of a whole bunch of stuff that just starts rolling downhill.
Well, it's time again to work on the road again. It's November, so it's about 2.5 months since I've been up here and stuff like that. So I got some time away from working and that kind of thing for my business. So I'm gonna come up here, work on the road a little bit, and then do some skiing and stuff too next week. So I'm going to work on the road for a week and then do skiing for a week after that. Now, what's the chances of this thing starting up without ether here? I mean, we're talking, it got cold last night. It's been cold up here. They had some cold fronts and stuff, so, I mean, it's been cold. I mean, you can tell.
This one here does not have glow plugs or an intake heater.
It's not as cold now as it was this morning. It's warmer now. I don't know. It's definitely probably like 37 probably or so. So it's not too bad. But, anyway. Let's see if she'll start up without the ether.
All we're trying to do is just kind of prime it up a little bit, trying to get the oil rolling before we get it going at idle speed.
Maybe we should give her a small sniff so we don't tear down the batteries, huh? raining carbon. So when I tried to start it up yesterday, I had these parts overnighted from I think Missouri. A new oil cooler. So I got it started. It's running fine, no problem. And then all of a sudden, oil just started pouring out down here. Let's see if we can see it. Yeah. So the thing is I think what happened is it was coming right out of there, the bottom of the neck for the radiator there, which is connected directly to the oil cooler. So I think because it's so cold, okay, that either the oil pressure relief valve is stuck or not working or broken, the spring, or something. Maybe there were some already cracks in there, but I think the oil pressure relief wasn't working. It's just too cold. The oil was too thick, and when I got it running, it just blew the oil cooler, which is right there. That piece right there. See, it's connected to the block right there. Right? There is a spring.
As you can tell here, you can see oil accumulating on the side of the engine. I didn't replace these gaskets, and there's also one of the injector lines was bent and didn't know it until later on.
That was broken right here, but that looks like it's the oil filter regulator maybe, or relief. The actual oil pressure relief valve is that big, huge nut right there. That's the top part's covered with oil and the bottom part's clear. So that's the actual oil, because it's in the main oil galley. So I don't know, but kind of makes me upset here. You know, I'm out of state, day late. Day late, dollar short kind of scenario. I'm wanted to get working on this yesterday, but it was a lot colder yesterday. Today's pretty nice. So we're going to go ahead and take this off and see what happens here. After further investigation, froze up right in here and busted it, I'm pretty sure. So I don't think it's the oil pressure relief. I think it just cracked it inside, and when we cranked it up, it's just solid ice. So, see the oil. So, what happened when I was trying to get out of town last time, okay, I was trying to get out of town at a decent hour, and there's so many different things to pack and organize and do and I ended up forgetting to drain the water, because that's all I had was water in there, because I still needed to flush everything out. Didn't have time to flush out the system yet, so I just had water in there. So anyway, as I'm going down the road, I call my neighbor over here and said, hey, is there any way you can go ahead and drain the water out, because I forgot to drain it. So he comes over and drains it out of the valve at the bottom of the radiator, but apparently we need to be draining the water out of the cooler and stuff too. Well, just what happens, there's nothing you can do about it, unfortunately. No matter how much you plan, no matter how much you try to do the right thing, no matter how much you understand, there's always going to be something, that you're going to miss, or something's going to happen, I'm glad it just was this rather than the block. So, anyway, we're going to go ahead and put the new one in and go from there. Okay, so we got the new cooler in now, and Filled it full. We got 3 gallons of oil in it. We're going to start it and make sure everything's good to go. We should be good, but you never know. So make sure there's no oil. There shouldn't be any oil coming out of anywhere. Now, now I'm doing that on purpose to get the oil kind of primed up in there a little bit. I'm turning it off here. Pressure should be coming up here soon. Ready to go here pretty soon. It's another reason why I needed to have that loader going, because I had a shipping container already paid for on the way. I needed to cut out the entrance so that way he could get out there, because I didn't have time to do it the last time I was up. So there was no access even to get onto my property. So I had to cut that out. I had to cut a spot for the actual container, and then I had to drag the container up the hill and put it in place, because without that I don't have any storage capacity. I can't put any tools, I can't put any lumber, I can't do anything, obviously, and stuff. So I won't be able to do, anything. Everything would just be outside in the elements and stuff. So, it was critical that I had the loader, running and going one way or another. And I'll tell you a little bit more about the loader at the end of the video. Funny thing is, this guy didn't want to be filmed, so I cut him out of, most of the unloading thing here. So that way you're not so...
Well, I'm also pulling the wheels up 8 feet yet,
so
I might still be cockeyed.
Okay.
No matter what, almost. But I thought, well, if I can jut it up here part of the way for you, it'd be nice. But you're suggesting come a little more?
Well, if you're going to be going, you're going to pull in your wheels 8 feet, you're going to be almost... I mean, actually, you need to pull forward a little more, and then you'll be just about level by the time you pull all the way out.
The thing, right now, I don't have enough time, barely room to pull out. What if I would bring it on?
Can you get it? Can you get to that far and be safe with it and all?
Well, are you okay if I stay on that basic line and I bring it and drop the back about here? Yeah, that'll actually swing about right.
If you know, it's your rig, so you know.
Why don't you stand here and bring my tail about to here, and then I'll get out and look at it again, make sure I got room and everything to pull forward.
I'd say if you can turn the trailer a little bit to try to get it more angled this way, you know, then it'll be pretty.
Like this?
Yeah, just a little bit, maybe about 5 feet.
Really?
Yeah, and then you'd be.
Well, but then I'm running out of room straight forward. Maybe, but I'll look at it. Yeah.
Okay.
You're trying to get it more level, is that what?
Well, I want you to be level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's pretty level right there. That's not bad.
Let me pace this off a little bit.
I mean, that might work. Let's go check out this guy's rig here.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah?
You got me on camera?
Well, I'm feeling building the road because I'm actually going to be way up there. This is just for construction material.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I've already started the road, but it still needs work. But I'm already about halfway up already. So,
That was 3 months ago, maybe.
Oh yeah, okay.
Something like that. And then I did a 20-footer.
One way or another.
Yeah, that's all right.
I would have kept calling you. Because, you know, I like to coordinate with people. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that,
Well,
you know what's going on with me.
I had already coordinated, yeah.
So,
Okay.
Jesus. I guess he forgot to take the pin off. Or something. My God. Christ. That makes some horrendous noise, doesn't it? There she goes. Well, he's going to have to huff and puff a little bit. Oh yeah, he's going to have to lower it down a little bit, dragging the rear end. Boom. Look at that. We now have storage. That's what I'm talking about. Heck yeah. Perfect.
So here's the area that I filmed previously the last time I was up in September that when I was cutting the road out. But this is the area that we're about ready to cut down for the base camp for storage and the camper and stuff, so that way I have a place to work out of, so that way I can continue on the road. The road's going to need an extensive amount of work. Same thing with, utilities and other different things that I plan on doing. So we got to have, kind of a place to stay temporarily until we move on to the next phases of things here. So here's the spot all cut out. I had to rush to get this thing cut out. Still having problems with the loader. Graded it out as close as I could, as fast as I could. Got it cut. At least it wasn't snowing. Got it fairly level. It's just so that way, if there's any water, snow and stuff, it'd drain out pretty good. Not 100% level. Brought me a cheap little laser up there. And we got problems. So what I went ahead and did is I took the pressure regulator out and I put another copper washer on that, because down the road I was still having problems with the cooler. I had to buy another cooler. When I first bought the loader, it actually came from Texas. The guy told me that originally came from Texas and somehow ended up there. And anyway, long story short, the machine originally had a problem with the oil cooler. So there's been a history of oil cooler situations, and I don't know if it's because when they brought it to the mountains that because of the colder temperatures, it had a problem with the oil cooler once before. So long story of it is that as you can tell here on the track, you can see the actual pressure regulator on the left, and then you can see the actual bolt on the right. And what you can do is you put a copper washer in between there, so that way it'll help space out the pressure regulator enough to where it gives it a little bit more flow. What's happening is it's going directly from the sump pump straight through the oil cooler to the pressure relief. There's not a pressure relief before the actual the cooler, so that's a huge problem. Probably need to run like a 5W, a 5-weight oil, or 10-weight 5-weight oil, when it gets cold up there. So, and I don't know all the history of the machine, who's done what and what's been changed, whatever, but I know there was problems with the oil cooler when I got it, because he gave me 2 spare oil coolers. One was bad and then there was a good one. So there was already issues going on with it. Very similar situation. So, I put the good oil cooler on there, not thinking anything, and then here we are running a 15-weight oil and not thinking of anything. That's why it's important to have the machine with you, because it takes some time to go through it and get all the bugs worked out and other different things. And I didn't have that luxury because I was over 600 miles away, so I had to do whatever I could, when I could, however I could. You can see right here where I put a rag by one of the fuel injectors, because one of the lines actually had a little dent in the line itself, between all the stuff that I was doing and moving and traveling and everything. It's just something that got overlooked. Everything was a time crunch, you know, trying to get everything working between, you know, going back and forth and just everything else be going on. So anyways, it worked out pretty good in the long run though.